Hello everybody, this is Souls44 and welcome back to another episode of Family Playday. I am here with my compatriots, Kata and Fixie. Hello, hello. We are rebuilding the entire farm. So, in previous episodes, if you've seen it, we were working on putting together a field of lights, and there was a bunch of corn, and there's a tree farm back there, and yeah, so major remodel. Yeah, just put it that way. My major project right now is I was challenged to build a vending machine. We have a grid system done with refined storage already set up, and I've done a very large amount of work on that in between episodes, as well as some severe improvements to my astral sorcery setup. And, of course, the fortress, which is under the ground, has been completely remodeled. I have not even come close to finishing that task yet, but now I've been challenged to create a vending machine. So, without further ado, that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm not really that good at working with this kind of machinery setup. I've never done it before. So, I mean, I guess I can work through it. In the meantime, I'm going to take requests from the two of them on what foods we're looking at creating. I know we were going to create pizza as one of the vending machine items. And, yeah, so that's going to be a big one, is pizza. So if I get pizza to work, I know I'm good. I just have to be able to expand on whatever I do times a few. There's the vending machine. So far, it's as ugly as it can be, but hey. It's got a grid, okay? If you wanted to craft an item, you can craft it. That grid will not necessarily stay, but it's there for convenience while they're building anyway. I'm using network controller. Can you look? Can you see it? It's right there in front of Fix there. It's a receiver and a transmitter. I've got quite a few of those set up already, so that I can have wireless. Wireless grid power anywhere I go. There's one on every level of the fortress. There's one also on my astral sorcery temple, which you can't see. It's pretty far away. And there's one in here, of course, and there's one inside that building back there, which was the original home. This is all that's left of the original house, my shed. They kicked me into a shed. But I have my basement. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Alright, so, as you can tell, I've done a very large amount of work to make things a little bit more friendly. This is, I think I explained this in another episode, I don't know, but you get your coal coke here, which is probably gone because it's been burned up. I haven't been maintaining any of it. Yeah, I haven't been maintaining any of that. But if you look inside, this is the fortress now. There are many levels with elevators in between. This is Fixie's home. I don't know exactly what all she plans to do to decorate that, but this is her little space. And it wraps all the way around. It's very large, very, very large area. So expect a long-term project coming from this. I added crafting grids to every story. So story number 3, 4, 5, 6, and the bottom one is my basement. And inside this cell is a single villager who I've been basically completely pillaging for emeralds. This is my basement area setup. It's really ugly right now, but it's just functional. I was playing around with the frames, trying to figure out how to make a elevator look decent. Since it's on bedrock, I can't exactly do anything with it unless I put a whole floor down. And I don't want a floor. To be honest with you, I want this to be the basement. I actually wouldn't mind running pipes all around this whole entire area, just so that it looks like a basement does. That's the idea. I might even run some sheet metal and some things down here just to make it look like air conditioning ducts and you know, just make it look kind of weird, like a basement would. This is not anything that's going to stick around. This was just me collecting plastic. I have it set up with, I don't know if you could hear it or not, there's a dispenser with some logs that keeps on putting it in front of a latex gathering I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, it processes latex for me, so that way I can hit plastic. I don't need any more. And if you watch, it will slowly fill up some more until the log is eaten up. I will remove this here actually really soon, but not during this episode. So I've done a lot of crafting setup, but I've still got a very long ways to go. But as the challenge is for me to create a food dispenser, that's what I'm going to do next. Now, I did have these covered up, but I'm actually in the process of creating enough signalum to upgrade all the machines to the maximum and eventually get resonant like this one is. I'm going to have to create another phytogenic insulator because we are crafting a large amount of things and I ran out of ender pearls. I have 2 in the grid right now. It can only craft 1 at a time because I only have 1 ender lily. If you look, it should. Oh, did I even say yes to do that? No, I did. Okay, so as you can see, it is going to start crafting. This is as fast as this thing can craft without an acceleration of some sorts, which I will be doing with Astral Sorcery here in a little while, but I'll be doing that off camera because it's complicated and it's boring to watch. Behind the walls here, I have a setup for a atomic reconstructor with a range collector, so that way I can get some of the void things, etc. When I want to on demand. It'll just drop it down and it'll turn it on. This is a detector. It detects that there's an item there and then turns on the constructor, and it has a little bit of a small delay, picks it up, puts it inside the system. I have a cooking for blockheads, which is going to be set up all the way across to have every single thing we want to cook. I have a fisher I just finished setting up, and it is depositing most of the stuff into the grid. The rest of the stuff is going into here and is going to be sorted out. I'll figure it out what I want to do with it. The problem is the fish, when you do fishing now with cooking for blockheads and Pam's Harvest Craft, is just the grid has an error problem doing conversion for some reason or another. So I just let this run. It'll fill up this crate. It'll take a long time. But I needed fish. So I have this filter set up here. It's going to import these fish right here. And I now have fish. And the reason why I needed fish on demand is because I want pizza on demand. To get pizza on demand, you also have to have milk. And you don't know it, but up in this wall here, somewhere, there are hidden all kinds of goodies. There's my sink with infinite water. There's a ender chest there with a crate here for me to put in my cobblestone. That was for Cat's building. What did I just do? Did I do that? What did I do? Holy smoke. Okay. So inside the walls are a few things. You might be able to hear them. Very slightly you can hear the chickens. There's a chicken farm up in the ceiling as well. It's producing tons of eggs. It's very simple, just 4 chickens on top of a hopper going into a chest. I'm sorry, I think it's also a crate with an external storage connected to it, so that way I have an infinite number of eggs. Right now it's only 63, but if I wanted to go up there, I could breed them until there's about 50 up there, and it would just keep on popping them up every second. I don't want to do that. 63 is fine. It'll be very large by the time I finish this challenge anyway. There was the cornfield. It's gone, so now we have a ton of corn, and we also have 1,000 popcorn, which gives us opportunity to have another item for the food dispenser. We want to have the food dispenser set up so that you can push a button. That's the idea. You push a button, out pops the food. And we want it to be like where there's a, I'm just going to go ahead and do this, a item frame, one of these, right here on with the food item. So let's say I want pizza, which is this one right here. Out of the different pizzas, there is a bunch of different pizzas available. This one right here has 12 by 12 with 29 saturation, which is crazy good. But this one, pretty easy to make. I mean, it is cheese, knife, mushroom, carrot, dough, and a fish. Now, that fish can be cooked salmon or cooked fish, either one. I taught the machine how to do both, either or. The only issue I'm having right now is the mushroom. And I am pretty sure that I can automate the mushroom. I can, and we're going to do that real quick. Thankfully, I'm using refined storage. Applied Energistics is amazing. I'm not going to knock it, but I am going to say this. I prefer refined storage over any other program for my storage just because it handles fluids extremely well. And here's why. I'll show you real quick. So I want to make mushrooms. So obviously I'll type in mushroom. Thankfully, I have one mushroom. So that's a very good thing. I've already taught the machine how to make PhytoGrow. I've also taught it how to make rich PhytoGrow, and I've also taught it how to make fluxed PhytoGrow. But for the purposes of making, I have a whole bunch of PhytoGrow. Now, rich PhytoGrow, let's check and see. To make 64 of that, it needs rich slag, which is going to be made by making compasses, and then you melt the compasses down in an induction smelter, and it's going to give you rich slag. So there's a way of working around to create that. I would normally use regular PhytoGrow, and I'm going to use regular PhytoGrow right now just to go ahead and get a start on these mushrooms. Over here in the phytogenic insulator. It's going to automatically insert this in here, and I'm going to have to grab out more mushrooms. But I also need water. My goodness. So, you know what? I'm not even going to play. Let's just go ahead and make it a 1-to-1. Just so that I can burn through that PhytoGrow. So I'll go ahead and create a pattern. It's going to be a processing pattern and with OR dictionary on, OR dictionary off. And the reason why it's off is it has some issues dealing with that. I don't know why, but I've had issues where it's had issues. That's all I know. So we can either go with a single, with the regular, which gives you 2 mushrooms for each one, that's enough as it is. It doubles. But I really would like to get it to where it quads. But let's see. So 1,200 water, and it gives you 1-to-1. So I click on this. There it goes. Now, if you click over here on the left, it'll give you fluids. For some reason, the pattern doesn't want to transfer over for that one on this. That's not a problem. I just tell it I want a bucket of water, which I'm also going to teach you how to make fresh water here in a minute. Now it knows I need 1,200 water in this processing pattern. You're going to take that little card, you're going to move it over in your craft manager, and you really need a craft manager if you're going to have stuff hidden in the walls, because then I can see everything that's connected to my crafters, which are behind the walls. Now when I say mushroom, there'll be 1, remove it. I want 64. It's going to tell me I can't, because I can't, there's the only mushrooms in here. So let's go ahead and start making some. Alright, I know I need, let's say 10 buckets of water. And because I'm going to burn through some of these so I can get this started. Once you have some, you don't run out. Here's the issue. When you are crafting by hand, you have to have, oh, I ran out of space. You have to have space for, so like, put it this way. When the system says to craft, it contains the items inside itself, and it can request the items to go where it wants. What the? No, go in there. So after I make a couple of these, yeah, let's make a couple of them. There. So it's going to go ahead and go down. Yep, alright, cool. Now, it doubled. In order for me to request it, I can't hold a button and say, hey, craft more while there's 2 in there. So I have to remove 1 at least. Or I have to remove both of them so that I can show there's a craft there. But what I'm going to be doing is creating a crafting card that automatically tells the system, hey, I'm out of this thing, go ahead and craft more. And it's going to keep doing so until the inventory that it is attached to is full. Basically, I'm going to be saying, hey, fill this inventory with this item, craft it on demand. And that's the reason why I really enjoy having refined storage. This water will actually pump in on its own, and I won't have to be doing this by hand anymore. I'm only doing this now just because I want to get as much of a head start on these mushrooms as I can. So I should have plenty. I wish there was a dump button. Like I could just kind of click on the let that manually do it. Alright, now, so let's go ahead, mushroom. Now I have 2. So I'm never going to really ask for just mushroom. No one wants just a mushroom. I always want something that's got an ingredient in it. The mushroom is an ingredient in it. So having it know how to craft mushrooms helps it craft the ingredient for other recipes, if that makes any sense. I don't know how else to explain it. So in other words, what I'm doing now is I'm just setting it up so that it doesn't have to automatically craft so much. Let's run it out of water and then we'll be done. All right, so it ran out of water. Notice that there's leftover water in there. One of the issues I've got is there's no dump, but there's always this method. Done. Now everything is back to normal. Make sure you unlock the slot. And the reason why you want to unlock that slot is because it doesn't necessarily take phyto grow for everything. There's also other combinations. As you can see, there's a ton. There's 182 recipes, and a lot of that has to do with Biomes of Plenty and PAMs, which is fine with me. I think it's great, but I'm going to need another one of these machines. In any case, make sure that your outputs are set correctly behind it. So this is behind. So that way the crafter can insert, and then this is down, so that way there's an item. This is actually Ender IO facade, painted by this machine here. And there's a pipe under there that's sending it to a interface. Really simple. Alright. Now that I have mushrooms on demand, I have these mini chests, and I think what I'm going to do is, the trick will be to create, I think I'm going to need conduit. Can I make redstone conduits? I know I can make redstone relays. Redstone conduits. That's a new one. Alright, so now I'm going to need to teach it how to make redstone alloy ingots. There we go. And I do want to OR dictionary that because of silicone, or silicon, or whatever. And that's going to go in the alloy smelter, because the alloy smelter belongs to the same. I went right past it. There we go. There we go. Now I want to make redstone ingots. Now I normally would just put the conduit in as the next one of the craft, but I'm not going to waste a crafting slot on something I'm not going to make a very large amount of. So there's no real reason for me to go in and do that, because I'm not going to make a very large amount of these. I think I might not even make any more than 16. So when this gets to 3, it's kind of slow. To be honest with you, the Ender IO ones are actually slower for once. What are these doing in there? Somebody put that inside there. So there's one of those. Oh, the binder. I'm out of binder. I already made that on AutoCraft. Let's go ahead and make 64 of those. As far as clay goes, oh, nice, I got an achievement. So everything will input on its own. The gravel will be making into sand. The conduit binder will burn and cook, and see? It all will happen on its own. It's all happy. For right now, it's happy. Happy machines. And I understand this is a good reason why. So that should be good with that. I think I've got enough there. Okay, good. Let's get out of here. Now you notice that there's a sound damping going on. That's because chicken farm. Chicken farms are loud, so I put a muffler. Chicken farms will drive you insane. So that's who was playing around with it. Oh, and if you notice, there's a crystal ritual anchor here. Oh my goodness. All you can hear is them snotting everywhere. It sounds like boogers going all over the place. This is a collector crystal. I'm using it to shed some light on this. I don't even know if that's going to increase the ritual. The ritual is actually attached to my astral sorcery area up there. And yeah, it's basically a ritual that prevents mobs from spawning. So we could take down all the lights if we wanted to. We're not going to, but we did have some issues where mobs were spawning. And there's a little bit of an underground thing going on. I don't know exactly what their plans are. I think it would be pretty cool to have like a bridge over here. I don't know. They're architects. I'm not. So, in any case, these tiny chests are going to be down here in the bottom. Originally, it was going to be these full-size chests, but that is a very large amount of a product, right? But we're talking about we only need one. Now, I don't know for sure if these interact with these very well, but I'm about to find out. I really am. So, let's see if I can get some pizza. I click on this, I get, oh, it says I'm missing a knife. Why would I be missing a knife? I have a knife right here. Oh. Oh, no. So, alright, MBTE data strikes again. That might be a huge issue. And it's getting dark. So, let's go play with the recipe. I hate to do this to everybody. I didn't want to do recipes. I really did not want to deal with the recipe parts of this. So let's see. What part requires me to make the knife? Is it the cheese? I don't know why it would be the cheese, no. So let's go pizza. What exactly? It's just part of the craft. Wow. Alright, so I'm going to grab that recipe out. And I'm going to check it. Now, it's not a processing, so it's just back to regular. And if you put it back in the bottom, you can examine it. This is going to be a problem. Oh my goodness. Alright, so I'm going to be really disappointed in this whole thing. We may end up having to change the type of pizza. That's really, boy, that really bumps me out. That seriously bumps me out. I was really hoping I was going to be able to use that pizza, but it looks like we're going to be going all the way into Pam's. And I'm going to probably have to do that in another episode, because that means I'm going to have to make a recipe for dough, for cheese. I don't think you get NBT data on your bakeware. I could technically, if I wanted to, make it so that the knife was infinite in use. Because it would just craft a new one and throw the other one away. My head's starting to explode. I'm gonna cry. Alright. This sucks. I'm not happy. That's super unhappy. What am I gonna do? Ugh. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it so that this thing knows how to make a knife. I just killed that pattern. Alright, so, yeah, that's how you screw up a recipe. Let's go ahead and do this. Make the handle. Now it knows how to make the handle. It already knows how to make sticks, I believe. Does it know how to make sticks? Yes. Okay, so it knows how to make sticks. It knows how to make leather. That means it's going to need zombie flesh. I got 157. So that's going to be enough for a little while. Oh, what a shame. This is going to be a real problem. I'm going to... Oh, and chests are glitched, by the way, so that's what that is. I'm going to need a lot of aspirin after this is over, just so that this thing can do this. So I will come back and I will have the other pizza put in, but for this one video, I will go ahead and tell it I need pizza. And, oh, whoops, wrong. I need that one. There. Pizza. There. Now, I wouldn't put the Ore Dictionary on there, but I need to for the fish. And I don't know what I'm going to do about this knife issue. That's such a letdown. I was really hoping to make that pizza. I liked the way that pizza looked. I was super happy with that. So let's tell it to make pizza now. And it should be able to make a pizza. As it will craft a new knife for every pizza. Holy smoke. It's already done. I don't even have to. I was going to look inside the crafter, but it's already done making pizza. And if you look, it's probably got another knife. Yep, there's another knife with 1 durability used. That's going to be a thing. Yeah, but you know, for the sake of this video, I wanted to try this out. And you notice it's dark. Fixie, we're going to have a problem. It wants a knife for every pizza. Yeah, so I'm going to get rid of that. But for the meantime, let's go ahead and see if this thing will interact with this mini chest. The mini chest will hold 1 stack of any item, so this is actually kind of precisely about what I want. I want 1 item per little mini chest, and I'll put a few mini chests in here. It's super dark in here, isn't it? I don't worry about light anymore. Oh, where's my torches? So I hardly ever put torches down. There we go. So you can see it's just a cute little doohickey here. Now, so we're going to put a crafter in there. What's it going to do? Well, that's going to say, hey, whatever's inside this exporter, craft it automatically. And so the system is automatically now going to try and craft pizzas to fill that chest. Or at least in theory, if it's connected. And as you see now, there's a pizza inside there. There's 2. 3. See, so it's going through the process. Now, it's going to have issues when it runs into low on milk. I don't know how much. You can only store up to 8 buckets of milk at a time, and it takes 2 buckets of milk, I think, for each pizza. So we're gonna run into a point where we run out of pizza milk. Milk is going to be a problem. I could have made an external storage for it, but I put a cow in a jar. And if you want to see how that's done, please like, subscribe, and follow, and I'll be more than happy to shove a whole entire cow inside of a jar. That's exactly what I did. It's pretty funny. So for the rest of this video, since the epic fail took place where the knife had to be made, I'm going to go ahead and just follow along with Fixie and with my other compatriot Kata and just show you off their area that they've made as she runs away. I'm attuned my character with astral sorcery to a few things, but mainly to be able to do this. This is a Mantle of the Stars with Visio attunement, and you know what? Let's go show you the start of my astral temple. It's not even close, but okay, I'll sleep. We'll sleep. This is the astral temple I've got going right now. It is maxed out as far as the altar goes. It has 1 ritual. I will have 4 when I am done. And I don't know if this powers it extra or not. I know that this does, but I'm not getting the special particle effect. Maybe it's not reaching. I don't know. I'll work on that in a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that the power of this ritual, which is the one that stops mobs from spawning, is as powerful as it gets, so it's as area as large as it can be. And it's attuned here. Cake. On demand, I will have cake. And my dispenser is going to work for cake, and it's not going to be nearly as hard as to do, because you just take pumpkins, put it next to one of these celestial crystal, and I'll just have a placer place a pumpkin in front of it, and then I'll have a detector break it, or maybe I'll have I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to pick it up. I don't know, because you can't really pick it. I don't think you can pick up a cake. I don't know. Anyway, you can make cakes. The starlight that comes off these things can change pumpkins into cakes. It's crazy. I can show that real quick on video. Uh-oh, I just ruined it. Ugh. Being as powerful you are as in the monk mod, it does have its downfalls. You gotta be really careful. Especially when you start attuning yourself like I have. And I'm going to show you my attunement here in a second. I have pumpkins on demand as well. They will go into phytogenic. See, I need another one because a phytogenic insulator is going to grow those only so fast as well. So that might be a problem also. It's just going to be running all the time. Might as well go ahead and make 1 for each with resonant. At this point, resource-wise, the only resource I'm ever hurting for are diamonds and ender pearls and emeralds, which I can get manually from villagers and such. But yeah, as you watch, the starlight will cause these little particle effects on the top of this, and it will change it, transmutate it into a piece of cake. Then you could also use sandstone, which becomes endstone. Iron becomes, oh, there it is, cake. So now you have cake. Great. I have automated, wait, what else? Oh yeah, iron ore becomes star metal, so that way you can have star metal. Well, I still got plenty of those. I've automated the, well, is it duplicated? It's already duplicated. I've grown larger crystals. I've done a lot of work. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Is that, did you really make a pet pig? Or is that... I'm seriously, you're crazy. I love this game. Y'all are insane. It never fails that I get interrupted, and it's always comical. All right, well, that's gonna be it for this video. I know it was a really technical video, and it had a lot of stuff in it that was kind of boring, and I apologize for that. But I wanted to show how I got to where I'm going. You can see I've got a networking piece right here. I want to be able to do a lot of wireless stuff the best that I can. I didn't like running wires everywhere in previous builds I've done, and so I went wireless. It just costed a lot of power, and if you look down there, I've got a nuclear reactor, so it's not like I didn't have a problem with power. I can run all the mining machines in the other dimension and this all at the same time and still have plenty left over. So thank you for stopping by. This is Souls44. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you have any questions or anything you need done with the video or any kind of mod help at all, or just, hey, how did you do that? Just, yeah, leave me a comment. Hit me up on Twitter, Souls44, same thing. And have a good one. Bye-bye.